Psychotic, psychopathic narcissist first seduces you, then completely destroys you. Why you can never trust an NPD abuser. Hi, this is Mike. This is the One Thing That Heals BPD and NPD Abuse channel. You can get my new book, How I Survived My Borderline Girlfriend. It's on Amazon Kindle, also audiobooks on Audible. You can go to audiobooks.thunderwizard.com to see that audiobook and others that I have out there. All right, so psychotic narcissist. You know, I've experienced being targeted by narcissists. I've never been in a romantic relationship with somebody who was pure NPD, and I'm extremely grateful for that because I've been on the other end of a psychopathic narcissist my whole life. My brother, who recently passed away, which is good for him. He's out of his misery, and I'm grateful for that. But all the time that I knew him, he had decided that I was his nemesis, and he was he just wouldn't stop, would not stop. Every chance he got, he would abuse me, attack me. When I was a little kid, physical beating up. When I got too big for him to beat up, then it just continued to be personal attacks, lying to other family members, trying to get other family members against me. It was just, he was just awful, and he would blame me. If he were alive today and if you were to catch him on the street and talk to him, he would tell you that I caused all of his problems, even though I haven't seen him in, sometimes for decades at a time. He would tell you that all of his problems were caused because I did it to him, and he just was relentless. But the thing is that when a narcissist has decided to destroy you, here is the most twisted part of it. It's because there's some positive feeling they have for you. The thing they're trying to destroy is not you on an unconscious level. The real thing they're trying to destroy is the love that they have for you. They can't tolerate any positive feelings. So those of you who think that you can get your borderline and your narcissist to love you, you're only asking to be horrifically abused. Because there's, narcissists and borderlines, they don't get into relationships, they take hostages. And even after you've been discarded, you are still, they have you in their back pocket. And this is why, one of the reasons why, after you've been in a relationship with a borderline and it's over, even if they've discarded you, your pain doesn't end. The reason why your pain doesn't end is that they were successful in completely attaching you to them. So the seduction, we would call it love bombing. What it does is the narcissist can tell what part of you is broken. So there's no way to get involved with a borderline or a narcissist if there isn't some trauma. Either you grew up in a narcissistic, dysfunctional, codependent home, and or you had some trauma. You went through a death. A spouse died on you tragically. And there's some kind of pain in you, some kind of loss in you, and they seek that out. They exploit that. The way they do that is they first give you everything that you honestly want. You want to be loved, you want to be seen, you want to be nurtured, you want to be cared for. In the case of the narcissist, they will actually study how to find all of the things, the kind of music you like, where you went to school, the kind of food that you eat. They'll try and figure out absolutely anything. If it's a woman, she will make herself completely, totally your fantasy. She'll do everything you want, sexually, romantically. She'll get into your hobbies. She'll change her body to look exactly the way you want it to be, and then love bomb you. And then what will happen is they will make themselves indispensable to you, all in an attempt to give you the experience that you are completely loved. And to get you to offset, what they're trying to do is they're trying to turn you into a borderline at first. They're trying to get you to offset your needs and have them regulate your emotions. Now, the promise is that the seduction is that here's how it's going to feel to be with me. It's always going to be this way. You will heal. And they take on the role of the mother. And this is why you feel so attached to them, because it's not just a romantic love. On an unconscious level, that person becomes your parent. And you start to operate from, just like a borderline, you start to operate from regressed infantile feelings of need and attachment. And so you feel like without them, you'll die. Now, in the beginning, you don't know that. So they seduce you into that. Once they have that, then they will start the abuse. They will start pushing you away, or they'll start devaluing you, and they'll see how much they can get away with to test to see how attached you are to them. Because that's what they want. They don't want love. They want you to be attached to them. Then what they do is they continue to reinforce the shared fantasy. So shared fantasy means that they have a fantasy. They have in their mind, they have a fantasy of what they would need in their mind, they think, in order to be happy. For the borderline, it's a very passive experience where they create a fantasy where you are God and you meet all of their needs like a giant parent in the sky. They sit back, they soak it all up. And if you just do your part, you've been with a borderline, you know, if you just do what I want, I'll be okay. You have to touch me this way, hold me this way, talk to me this way. If you just do exactly what I want, I'll be okay. And so that's the shared fantasy. You then become whatever it is you think they need because you've already been attached to them, and now they have made themselves feel indispensable to you. You get into the trauma bond loop, which is the repetitive entrainment, where they love bomb you. You become attached to them. They make themselves indispensable to you. They distance themselves. They start to devalue you. They start to abuse you, whatever it is. You then go into trauma because now your mommy is no longer there. You feel like you're going to die. These are all just unconscious feelings and nervous system doing its thing. Your brain has shut off. It's not even functioning. You're in pure trauma mode. You think you're going to die. You think the only thing that will make it better is their attention, their love. They stretch that out for as long as they can. If we're talking about a narcissist, they'll stretch it out for as long as they can until they know you're about to break. And then when you're about to break, then what they do is they will give you attention, just enough to put you back into the loop, and it starts all over again. They will love you again. They will give you attention. They'll have sex with you, take you out to dinner, be nice to you. They'll even say, you know, you did what I want. Everything's going to be okay. And then you relax. And once again, they become indispensable to you. They meet your needs. And this you get all these positive endorphins that go through your body that make you feel like you're going to be safe. Because again, your body was in trauma. Even though really you weren't, your body thought it was in trauma, thought it was about to die. It's as if you thought that, you know, a bomb was going to land and blow up and kill you. And then at the last minute, somebody, you know, just like in the movies, this is why we like horror movies or suspense movies. You know, there's 1/2 of 1 second left and the person defuses the bomb and it's all okay. It'll all be okay forever now. And your body's flooded with all of these positive chemicals that make you feel good. And then you're addicted to that experience. So then once you have that, they abuse you again. It's the push me, pull you. But the love bombing that you got in the beginning never comes back. You never get that. That's what you're waiting for. Like a trained dog, you're waiting for that to come back. It never does. And so what's happening then is that at some point, both with the narcissist and the borderline, if they've decided to destroy you, it's because they actually feel a connection to you. They feel there's a possibility that they might allow you to love them. There might be some love that'll come in, and that, you have to understand, is the worst possible thing. So the worst possible thing that a narcissist and a borderline can experience is the absolute terror and powerlessness of what it's like to be loved. That's why love is so frightening. For healthy people, they get afraid. I'm falling in love. I'm really afraid. They're afraid because you're powerless. The powerlessness of being seen totally. You feel naked. It's a very powerless feeling. Now, if you're a healthy person, you learn how to deal with this, and you learn how to actually use that to create deeper intimacy, better connection. But for the narcissist, it means death. It is the worst. And on top of that, they hate themselves. They do not believe that they deserve to exist. So what ends up happening is that actually your love destroys their fantasy. The fantasy that they're using as a protection actually starts to crumble, and they start to feel all of the horror and all of the pain they've never looked at. And you become the person that's causing that. And that's why they split on you. Your narcissist will split on you also. And so then they have to destroy you. They have to destroy you for two reasons. Number one, because this is what happens. Real relationships, you start to identify with the other person. Now, if you start to identify with the other person, you start to see yourself in them. You start to see, the connection, the similarities. You start to see them as individuals. Narcissists can't tolerate that, because that means they got to have empathy for you. So understand that they believe they deserve to die. A narcissist, a true narcissist, if they were to get honest for just half a second, the intense amount of self-hatred and pain could kill them. So you can understand they then turn it on to you. So what ends up happening for you is that they will seek you out and try to destroy you, even if it means their own destruction. They will kill themselves if it means destroying you. Perfect example, Keith Raniere. He is in prison for the rest of his life, and the truth is that he had created such a powerful cult. Had he just not taken it that far, he could have still been surrounded by people, had a harem of sex slaves, had a harem of people working for free to him, been seen as a god. He could have kept that going for the rest of his life. He could have been a billionaire, but no, he couldn't. His obsession to be that abusive, sex slave master was so intense, he sabotaged his own, everything he had going for him. So narcissists will destroy themselves if they're focused on you. So you never want a narcissist to love you, because the opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of love is apathy, not caring. Who was that person? Oh, I forgot that person existed. That's apathy. Narcissists will never forget you. If they've connected with you, they never forget you. They have to completely consume you. If they can't keep you at arm's distance and control you, and or if you are the perfect codependent, this is why borderlines always destroy narcissists, because they become the perfect codependent. If you become the perfect codependent, they will start to feel vulnerable, and they will feel the self-hatred. They will hate you because you're supposed to hate them. The fact that you don't hate them means you must die. If they hate you because how dare you love such an unlovable person? You are blaspheming God by loving me. I'm not supposed to be lovable. And that feeling is so intense that they have to destroy you. But it really comes from they love you, they feel that they need you, they admire you, they respect you, they want to be like you, and of course all of these things will make them feel jealous, make them feel intimidated, make them feel less than, and they can't tolerate any of those feelings either, so they must destroy you. Now, they can't just discard you because you never go away. They've created an introject of themselves into you, which is what creates the codependence on your part. But they don't realize that you've come in through a back door in their brain, and you're now an introject in their brain. And you're the introject in their brain that says, alternatively, you deserve to die. In their minds, they turn you around. You say, I love you. They reinterpret that as you deserve to die. Or if they hear that you love them, then they, oh my God, this person loves me. If this person loves me, I'll die. This person is still alive. I must destroy them. Serial killers are a great example of that. That's why they take, they take trophies because they can never let go. And if you talk to serial killers, not that you would, but many serial killers will say, no, those people aren't dead. I liberated them. They're now with me. They're my spirit wives. They're my spirit helpers. So in death, they take the introject of them, because now the person is dead and can't fight back. They turn them around and they put them in their internal narcissistic fantasy where they're worshiping them, that having all that power. That's they have to destroy you. So anyway, this is why, again, with your borderline, when she's discarded you, you never stop thinking about her. Unless you do the one thing that I talk about in this book and on this channel. Put 2 seconds of work looking on this channel, you'll find the video that says the one thing. I tell you exactly what to do, and I tell you in almost all of my videos exactly what that one thing is. But I also tell you in this book. The reason why you can't let go of them is because they will energetically, psychically, psychologically take you hostage. And you will be in their back pocket for the rest of their life until they die. The only way is for you to completely, totally, and utterly destroy that connection. And the only way that can be done is if you do the one thing that I tell you to do. If you don't believe me, that's okay. Remember what I told you. You'll make some progress. You'll maybe go to therapy. Maybe you'll make some progress. You'll do something else, whatever it is. And you feel like things will get better, but it will never go away. Don't believe me? Don't do the one thing. And in 5 years, tell me that you still don't think about them. That trauma bond will still be there. Their introject will still be in your mind. The only way to get them, they burrowed their way into your mind. The only way to get them out is to do the one thing. And so I hope that you do that. Thanks again for stopping by the channel. Check out the book. You can check out all of my books at audiobooks.thunderwizard.com. If you like the book, leave me a positive review. And there you go. That's it. I hope you guys are doing well, and I will see you all next time.